right there on his chest, keep it there all night and throw some kind of punches.
Why is he not doing it?
I don't understand. What kind of training has he had?
No, I don't think that's it at all. I just think Evander can fight the big heavyweights because they don't move a lot. He can find a strategy against this guy. He just looks old. Just isn't there. You know, in a way, it's a heavyweight version of the lightweight fight we saw last week between Mayweather and Castillo. But it's more interesting because of the great personality and great fighter that Evander Holyfield is in America.
And you're saying that just as Mayweather was too quick and slick for Castillo, therefore Byrd is too quick and slick for Holyfield.
And he's even throwing harder punches than Mayweather did last week. And Holyfield looks discouraged as he goes to his corner.
You okay? You got to get close. You got to get close and you got to punch. Throw straight punches. Don't throw the hook. Straight in front of you. Bing, bing, bing. Get close and throw them straight.
Tim, you're letting him know there's something wrong with his left shoulder. Don't do that. If you're going to do it, put it on the front.
More water.
A couple of things in Holyfield's corner. One, they're putting ice on his shoulder.
5, 6 punches at a time.
And secondly, he didn't sit down in the corner for the first time in the fight. What reason could there be for that, George?
Second round, he hasn't sat down.
Yeah.
International feed for Don King overseas, being announced by veteran blow-by-blow announcer Bob Sheridan, also called the Colonel, and one Lennox Lewis, who accepted $1 million from Don King as step-aside money not to fight Byrd, along with a Range Rover, and as part of that deal is participating in honoring and being a part of the public presentation of the two fights that King has paired together, this and Jones-Ruiz. We'll try to talk to Lennox later. Round 8 begins with more Byrd popping at Holyfield from long distance, and we heard Don Turner, Holyfield's trainer, saying, you got to get close.
You got to get close, and you got to have heart, and that's what he's losing now. Gone to his corner twice and hasn't sit down on the stool. Generally, when a fighter starts off sitting down on the stool and doesn't go back, something is wrong. He's discouraged.
He looks like a lot of guys have looked in the late rounds after having been flummoxed by Chris Byrd. And now Byrd is starting to smile and laugh.
Evander's turned southpaw.
And that's what Byrd was smiling and laughing about, obviously. Yep, you're right. There's the southpaw stance.
I don't recall Evander doing that. He probably has somewhere in his career. But this seems like an act of desperation.
He's gotten discouraged, very discouraged.
He's looking for better punching angles. He told us that he would hope that he could get Byrd to square up shoulder to shoulder against him. That's only happened 2 or 3 times.
Well, you saw what he had in mind. He tried to trick Byrd into range for a big left hook. It grazed or just missed Byrd, and now he goes back to his conventional style.
If only Chris Byrd could punch, he could end this fight.
For all we know, George, the fight may be over.
What a feather it would be in Byrd's cap if a guy regarded as a non-puncher knocked out Evander Holyfield, who's regarded as having one of the greatest chins ever.
And that's the way you fight these guys. Don't throw big punches, just win every round. That's what Evander should have been doing with Chris Byrd all along. Stop trying to win the guy, knock him out, win rounds.
Byrd, from time to time, embarrassing Holyfield with his greater quickness in there.
Has that backhand with that straight backhand again. I mean, slap backhand.
As I said, he's going to get away with that. Randy Newman is not going to stop that. Right hand landed over the top. Byrd kind of looked down disgustedly as if, how did I let myself get hit?
You see how easy it is to hit him with a shot? Byrd to get tagged when you don't throw power.
Well, and if you go to the body instead of to the head, too.
I don't think it's easy at all. Because if it would be easy, Evander would have found out a way to do it by now.
He just does not believe in throwing little shots, Larry.
He lands a right uppercut as Byrd gets brave and comes in. Holyfield momentarily landed the uppercut, but all in all, another one-sided, largely Byrd round, at least to our eyes.
How you feel? You feel all right?
How about that?
Now you're going into the deep water now. So you got to really make him work. He done turned every way. He done lost everything now. He trying to go
He done got desperate now. You got
so he getting
the last
desperate.
3
You have to
seconds.
watch a desperate fighter. Because he
Punch. Don't wait for him. Punch. Bang. Bang. Bang.
You gotta throw it.
Make yourself a commitment to get
You ain't
close.
got no game here if you don't. You gotta throw it.
Get close and stay close. Stay close to him.
This is Chris Byrd's version of a bird in hand. And the bird in hand for him is Evander Holyfield.
Well, if it were a jabbing contest, they'd stop it. In the 8th round, Holyfield landed 1 of 11 jabs by CompuBox estimate. Byrd 18 out of 50. And you saw the numbers that showed that Holyfield, by CompuBox estimate, has landed only 3 jabs in the whole fight. Of course, it's hard to do it against southpaws. It's particularly hard to do it against this one.
That Byrd is as foxy as they get. Got his eyes wide open.
Hard right hand by Holyfield. Byrd takes the shot pretty well. I mean, you got to be hoping you can turn it around with 1 punch against him, and if he takes a punch well, how are you going to do that?
Holyfield just starts to get a little rhythm where he bobs to the, moves to his left and throws his hook, moves to his right, throws his right hand.
Byrd is just carving Evander Holyfield up like a Christmas turkey.
Operating at a high level of concentration.
Byrd jabs him right to the chest, too. Those punches hurt, takes your power away from your jab, does everything you don't want to have done to you.
Holyfield finally gets him squared up. Lands 1 right hand, might have been partially blocked by Byrd's glove. Shot to the body. Byrd goes into that peekaboo act. I'm here, but I'm not here.
Holyfield is just trying to get in 1 desperate shot. That's all. No longer try to win. 1 desperate. When you get desperate like that, that's when you get hurt.
I asked Evander if during their early days with main events he ever got into the ring with Pernell Whitaker. He said no, he never actually tried to spar with Whitaker. That would have been too frustrating for him. He may feel after tonight as though he's been in the ring with Pernell Whitaker.
That's right. Weighing in a little heavier though.
Look at Byrd laughing and smiling at us as he pops Evander at the same time. Evander just trying to rip everything he can with those left hooks. Crowd starting to warm to Byrd a little bit.
This guy's been allowed to rest all he wants.
Chris Byrd said it would be an easy fight. So far, it is.
What you gotta do. Every time you get close, you're in the ball game. You gotta punch him.
You're gonna fight,
Combination.
You're gonna fight this guy with 1 hand all night long. Are you gonna get your feet up there, get close enough so the shoulder don't hurt, and let him go?
We don't have any time to wait. That's just the bottom line, brother. It's up to you. Whatever you do, we love you and respect you. Because you don't have any more rounds to give away. That's just all there is to it.
Give away nothing.
Right now, you need to think like an amateur, and you got 3 rounds to think like an amateur. 2 rounds left.
That's right.
Like you did in 9 minutes, brother.
Come on. Come on, champ. Come on, champ.
Amateur.
Do what you do best, man. Fight. Do what you
Forget
do
about it.
best.
Go for it. Forget about it. Go for it.
CompuBox estimate in round 9, Byrd threw 52 jabs and landed 14, 70 total punches in the round. Evander Holyfield throwing a total of 27 punches according to CompuBox and landing 8. These numbers are mind-numbingly one-sided at this point. Harold, how about your scorecard?
Okay, Chip, 8 rounds to 1, 89-82. Chris Byrd just jabbing him to death with that right hand.
I wonder if the official scorecards won't be closer.
You see Byrd is doing this, he's jabbing this guy to his chest and in the side of his arms. So even his jab will not be effective anymore. He's taking everything away from Evander Holyfield. Power, discouraged him, and everything.
Well, we've often talked about this, George. It would appear the boxing match has been decided. So it would be up to Holyfield at this point to get in there and try to make it a fight.
I don't think he can do anything. He's allowed this guy to jab him in the chest area too much. He doesn't have that power anymore. This guy's just sucked it away from him like a syringe. If he'd only been just throwing headshots, it'd have been a different story.
Holyfield trying to sledgehammer Byrd with body shots.
Hit him low. Let's get him low.
And Randy Newman says you hit him low. Hey, watching what you're watching here, George, do you suspect Lennox Lewis didn't want to fight Byrd solely because he thought the public wasn't interested in the fight? Or do you suspect he wanted to stay away from that style?
Yeah, well, it's been the whole history of boxing to stay away from southpaws, stay away from southpaws who can box. This is something odd to have one of these guys in a title position like that.
The other side of it is that if Chris Byrd goes on to win this fight in what could be a virtual shutout, he then becomes a more important potential opponent for Lewis. Remember, the big guys are the ones who have given Byrd the trouble. He was behind 7 rounds to 2 to Vitaly Klitschko when he retired with a shoulder injury. He lost 11 out of 12 rounds to Vladimir Klitschko.
Manny Bayabuchi, who scored a KO over him, was 240 pounds plus himself. Right hand grazes Byrd.
Break it up.
His very best punches have been his left hook to the body, and that follows the book. It's been Evander's best punch his whole career. Back with straight punches. Evander trying to counter with one big shot.
Byrd got hurt that time.
Don't let him do that to you. Don't let him do that.
This Tuesday, look for Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel. Among the stories, a profile of the Maloof brothers. I'm reading here, they're rich beyond belief. They own Las Vegas, Sacramento Kings, and they're bachelors to boot. What is it, a bachelor segment? No, it's record with Bob Costas returns with a special edition, looking back at 2002 with some of the year's newsmakers. Serena?
Do you want to act?
Yeah, I've been actually doing a lot of acting. I have a Hollywood agent. I'm really serious. I have a coach. I know everybody's laughing.
I'm just laughing because you're laughing.
Evander Holyfield isn't laughing.
That may have been his most effective round, the last of that round.
Yeah, if you were looking for a round, if you were judging, you were looking for a round to give to Holyfield, that would have been the one, because he landed some crunching punches toward the end of the round. CompuBox numbers through 10. Holyfield 72 out of 250, 29%. Byrd 192 out of 589, 33%. More than doubling Holyfield's punch output. That's the big number there.
Holyfield gets rough with this guy and starts throwing those hard shots. Better do it now.
He can be rough. Well, 6 minutes to go. Whatever Evander's got, I'm sure his corner has asked him for it.
Well, he's asking himself for it. Is it there?
He had Byrd hanging on there at the last of that round. Now he can just go back to where he left off.
Holyfield gets Byrd cornered, catches him with the right hand. Trying to detonate Chris Byrd the way a big puncher like Ivander did when he caught him on the ropes in Tacoma.
Byrd's got to step up and fight this man. Don't run him away anymore.
That's what he's doing.
Back him up. Back him up.
That's what he's doing right here. Byrd's trying to make a retaliatory statement at this moment.
And I think if he just put together some hard shots, he'll be happy about this round. Just put some power on him. Make him respect you. If he doesn't respect you, make him respect you.
Well, Evander has emerged from his discouragement and has gone back to fighting up tempo, so it's up to Byrd to try to reintroduce him to that discouraged frame of mind.
That's what you got to do, but put a little power in there. Combination. It was Byrd who initiated that hug.
I know you're rooting for Evander, George, but he's a no-hoper right now.
Get back, Evander.
Who are you rooting for, Larry?
I'm just looking at the fight.
All right, then. Why do you think I'm
because
I'm
you keep telling us what Evander
I'm telling
might
you
do.
what I see.
Okay.
I'm not pulling for anyone. I like both of these guys.
I mean, you want to see Holyfield do his best and do better.
I want the fans to see the best.
We all do. We all do, but it doesn't look like anything is there.
Yeah, he got him a few shots. You
He's
have
trying.
to bleed. You're going to have to catch some shots, but it's
There's a hard right hand by
never over
Holyfield.
in a boxing match. Never over.
And he catches Byrd with a left hook. And once again, Byrd is rocked by the impact of these punches as he was at the end of the last round. And he tries to turn around and retaliate. And Evander catches him with another big shot. Chris Byrd got caught with 3 huge shots in the last 15 seconds of that round. And now we'll see if Holyfield can capitalize on that in the 12th.
My guess, it's his last hurrah. There he is, tired, desperate, almost on his last legs. Still Evander Holyfield. He's not going to leave anything outside the ring. He's going to put it all out right in here.
Holyfield managed to throw 48 punches in the 11th round. That's his biggest output of the entire fight. Byrd threw 81. Harold, how do you have it through 11?
Okay, Jim. 107, 102, 8 rounds to 3. Chris Byrd. Jim, I thought Evander did enough to pull out rounds 10 and 11. Maybe I was being a little bit generous in the 10th, but certainly Evander wins rounds 1, 10, and 11 on my card. Chris Byrd, all the others. Chris Byrd, basically because of the fact that he gets off first, like you see here, clean, effective punching.
I have him 9 rounds to 2.
Well, you heard Don Turner between rounds saying to Evander Holyfield, catch him in a corner. He wants to catch him in a corner and mug him.
That's not an easy task. This guy moves. Byrd even think moving.
After the last 2 rounds, though, Byrd finally knows he's been in against Evander Holyfield. Prior to that, he might have had some questions.
See Byrd just step in there with a straight left and get a knockdown. Show I'm in the heavyweight picture.
Lennox Lewis couldn't knock Evander Holyfield down. It'd be shocking if Chris Byrd could. seems for the moment to have stemmed the tide of the Holyfield rally in rounds 10 and 11. He's gone back to beating Evander to the punch and fighting him in the center of the ring.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy to do what Evander is doing. He's throwing a lot of hard shots. I mean, it takes energy. He's even connecting with that left hook to the body on the southpaw.
There were times in the fight when Evander seemed to be trying to conserve his energy. He's let it hang out a lot more in the last couple of rounds. The Byrd's winning the 12.
Come on. Now it's time to see the fight.
Holyfield was one of the last active fighters to actually participate in a 15-round fight early in his career against Dwight Muhammad Qawi. Maybe if he had 3 more rounds tonight, but he doesn't.
He didn't end the fight running away, Byrd did. He ended the fight fighting.
Let's keep in mind, Evander Holyfield has a record of 10-0 in Atlantic City. He is the star. He is Evander Holyfield.
So you're saying that you won't be surprised if these scorecards are considerably closer than the one Harold has kept during the fight.
Yep.
Is that right, Larry?
You got that right.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
I think none of us would be surprised if these scorecards are closer.
And the good thing about it, these fighters signed with Don King, and they're always in the title picture. There's no promoter who can produce like that.
A look back at highlights from throughout the fight. Chris Byrd's effective aggression as continually he stepped forward, threw the jab, beat Evander Holyfield to the punch, made Holyfield respond to him. Far more frequently did Byrd dominate the action at center of the ring than were the occasions when Holyfield was able to get him to the ropes, make him square up, and fight his fight. But it did happen sometimes.
It was a good fight also.
Fun fight to watch.
It was a fun fight. One guy boxing, the other guy trying to slug it out. That's what makes for good boxing matches. Holyfield was frustrated throughout the fight, but he kept fighting. That speaks a lot about Evander Holyfield.
Harold Letterman's final scorecard, 117-111, favoring Chris Byrd. That means 9 rounds to 3 favor of Byrd. So Harold gave Holyfield the 1st, the 10th, and the 11th, and all the remaining rounds to Byrd. Now you've heard George Foreman and Larry Merchant, and I'll chime in with them, saying none of us will be surprised if the official scorecards are something considerably closer than Harold Letterman's 117-111. That in the entertainment business is what we call a tease.
But Holyfield ended a lot of those rounds really tough. Last 10 seconds trying to steal the rounds like Muhammad Ali used to do, his Byrd's corner said.
All right, George, let's find out who won the fight. Jimmy Lennon Jr. with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, John Stewart, scores about 116 to 112. Judges Eugene Grant and Steve Weisfeld both scored about 117 to 111. All three in favor of the winner of the IBF Heavyweight Championship of the World, Chris Byrd.
So the judges do see the same fight Harold Letterman saw, and Chris Byrd gets his well-deserved victory over Evander Holyfield. And with that, Byrd has his coveted holy grail, a heavyweight title belt, and perhaps a foothold toward bigger fights. Final CompuBox numbers: Holyfield landing 102 out of 344. Byrd landing 150 more punches, throwing 403 more punches in the fight, and landing at a higher connect percentage. All of these numbers demonstrating the effect of Byrd outboxing Holyfield. Holyfield dispensing with the jab after landing only 3 of 37. Byrd sticking to the jab as his primary staple most of the fight, 154 out of 525. Larry Merchant stands by in the ring with the winner, Chris Byrd.